The WFIW 104.9 forecast for today, mostly sunny skies and a high today of 88. Clear tonight with a low of 65 and sunny skies tomorrow, a high of 88. Outlook for Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. Sunny on Wednesday, a high of 90 and low of 62. A chance for showers on Thursday, a high of 82 and low of 60. And a chance for showers on Friday, a high of 80 and low of 60. Yesterday in Fairfield, the high temperature was 86. The overnight low 67. It is currently 74 in Fairfield. For WFIW News, I'm Tom Levine.
Good morning.
Good morning.
How you doing, Tom?
I'm doing just fine. How are you?
That's not bad. Not bad at all. Tom Levine over there, Mike Dreeth here. Jeremy Smith will join us on this Labor Day. Well, like no Labor Day we've experienced, at least in my life. I'll give you that much.
Oh, yeah.
The weekend was interesting.
Okay.
Did you do anything out of the ordinary?
Nothing out of the ordinary. I planned on mowing the grass, but it fell to the wayside because we moved Saturday morning. My wife got into the cleaning mood.
Oh, so did mine. So did mine.
Must have been something in the air.
She was cleaning like you wouldn't believe.
Are they on the phone talking to each other?
I don't know,
Scared.
but I mean, she was not just cleaning; she was organizing.
Oh, well.
Jeremy Smith joining us.
Yeah.
Jeremy, how are you?
Doing good. How you doing?
So we moved the sofa out to clean all the bunny hair because the rabbit likes to hide under the sofa during the day.
Tom has a pet bunny. And the name of the bunny again?
Henry.
Henry
the bunny.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Henry.
Go ahead.
Yeah. So we moved the sofa out to clean all the bunny hair and bunny things out from
You probably
under the
could have
sofa.
built a whole new bunny with the hair that.
Oh
you
yes. For some reason, never mind. Anyway, so I started sneezing shortly thereafter, moving the sofa, and
went right up your snout.
Nice.
yeah, and I actually almost lost my voice yesterday because of the sneezing.
Oh.
So
Oh.
I decided maybe I'll put off mowing the grass.
There you go. That's probably a good move.
So,
Yeah.
that's what I did.
And
How about
Jeremy,
you?
you were here doing news over the weekend.
Yes, I was. We had a few big stories this weekend. Matter of fact, we broke one story yesterday about the lawsuit going forward against Michael Madigan, the petition that was signed by certain lawmakers in the state to try to situate the whole ComEd bribery thing and get to the bottom of the scenario. Oddly enough, the routine in which you're going through filing the petition has been used twice over the last 20 years to remove legislators from the Illinois House.
Ooh.
So there is precedence to move forward.
No, it won't.
It doesn't mean anything anymore.
Not in Illinois.
I doubt that's going to happen. But anyway, it gives us some hope.
Yes.
Saturday night we went to now listen to this. Turner would call it a bull.
A bull.
A bull.
Yeah, bull.
It was a boil.
Yes.
Okay. And you
You would call it bull.
A bull.
It was really done well. There was some sausage, some shrimp, some potatoes, some corn, crab legs, some spices.
Any
Roll
mud
it all
bugs?
together.
Any mud bugs in there?
No mud bugs.
No mud bugs.
No,
Oh,
no.
man, that's a
Old Bay in
disappointment.
there.
But I'm going to just tell you this.
See, he knows all about the bull
That's right.
I'm a
because he served down in Mississippi.
That's right. Biloxi, down at Keesler Air Base. I learned about the bull on my first weekend Liberty, as a matter of fact.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Corn, little corn
Corn.
cobs
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta have the corn.
I'm gonna just tell you, you put it in time. You start with the sediment of the taters on the bottom,
Right.
and you build up to the last thing, which might have been the shrimp. I'm not sure,
Yeah, because they don't need that long.
but
They only need a couple minutes.
and I'm going to say I'm going to tell you the cook.
Yeah.
It was KO.
KO.
Really?
And he did a marvelous job. And let me just tell you, I went and got myself a bowl full, okay?
A bowl of the bull.
A bowl of the bowl.
A bowl
And
of the bowl.
It was so
squared.
good that I went back and got another bowl.
Wow.
And I'm just gonna tell you,
Next time you go to the bowl, you're gonna need a big bowl.
it was it was clear that I had overeaten by a long shot.
Mm-hmm.
I was lethargic yesterday in my movements.
Getting them Obey sweats, huh?
Oh, it was. I just overdid it. It was just so good. Listen, last night I listened to the opening chapter. We've talked a couple of times about Sarah Fry's book, the one that's roaring up the New York Times bestseller list. Sarah's, of course, she runs Fry Farms out here on the western part of the county. Is a great opening story in her book. In the first chapter, she's telling the story about being at a really high society dinner party. Okay.
All right.
And they're on the top floor in, I assume, New York City. So you're looking at the skyline. She describes herself as wearing a really very elegant gown, pearls, high heels. Just, I mean, really dressed to the nines, as they say. Okay, and that she'd been in situations like this before.
Right.
That morning, she had a ball cap on and jeans, and she was throwing melons around inside of a barn. Okay, so I mean, but now she's in New York City. She's at the top of a building, and she engages in a conversation with a guy who is clearly a man of means, dressed as well in a very nice business suit.
Right.
And she said she's had this situation a number of times where they just assume normally she's the youngest person in the room, normally the only woman among business leaders.
Right.
And he says to her the question, the $1 million question that often comes up, because he's convinced that he's crossed paths with her somewhere.
Okay.
Whether it's at Harvard or at the Wharton School.
Didn't we have Phil Blank in here together? Yeah.
Yeah. And so
classic line. It works about 30% of the time, but
I wouldn't know.
At boarding school
I wouldn't know. But so
Yeah,
he says,
way.
so tell me, Sarah, where have you told me before where you went to college? And she says, in the past, she always changed the subject.
Right.
Okay? But she says she's changed, and she looked him straight in the eye, and she said, I went to Frontier. And then she takes a sip of her champagne and looks back out at the city. Well, now he's thinking, this must be some rich private school at that he's got to get Junior out of Columbia and get him into Frontier.
Oh, that's awesome.
So that he can learn how to climb a power pole or change out a carburetor. Okay.
Or possibly go into nursing.
Possibly. Anyway, it's a great beginning story. It's the beginning of her book. Let me just recommend this book. I was talking to Margaret Dunn, Galen's wife, and she was just, because she said she knew so many people that were involved in the book. It was fascinating for her. Also talking to my sister-in-law up in Joliet, and she had read it as well. It's a great read. I'm just, and you can also get it on audiobook, which is with Sarah actually reading it.
Now, do we have a title for this?
Yes, it is the
Growing Season.
Yes, the growing season.
The growing season.
So anyway, I just thought I thought that opening story was priceless to the book. I'm from Frontier.
I'm from Frontier. Does you know?
High society of southeastern Illinois.
I want to bid adieu to the base burglar, Lou Brock, who's one of the great Cardinals of all time.
And a great Cub before that.
Yes, and that always brought great delight to me, because all you had to do ever say to a Cub fan is, Ernie Broglio.
Mm-hmm.
That's who the Cubs.
great
Yep.
Ernie
The great
Broglio.
sore-armed pitcher Ernie Broglio, who the Cardinals gave up to get Lou Brock.
Now, let me ask you, is there any truth, because I know my age limits me on some of my firsthand knowledge and some of the older sports statistics and stories. Is there any truth to the fact that the Cubs traded Lou Brock solely for the fact that they were worried there would be too many African-American players on the team?
I've never heard that, Jeremy. I really haven't.
I read an article earlier today
it was
about that, and I was wondering about that.
We were still in the early 60s, the very early 60s.
62.
Yeah. 64, of course, Brock blossomed and led the Cardinals to the pennant and then the World Championship. I never heard a race angle to that, quite honestly.
I read an interesting article earlier, but I wasn't sure about the validity behind it. But apparently, according to the article, the premise was that at the time, they were afraid that having too many African-American players on the North Side team would turn off the fans and the media, and that they released him and a few other players at that time. Now, I don't know the validity behind that, but I do have a personal story about Lou Brock for you. I was probably 7 or 8 years old. I was telling Tom about this earlier this morning.
Yeah.
I was about 7 or 8 years old, and me and my grandparents were over in Harrisburg at Bonanza out to eat, which eventually became Ponderosa and now is becoming Tequilas. And we're sitting there, and I'm wearing my Cubs shirt, young little Cubs fan as I was, and
So misguided.
well, I don't know. A lot of that had to do with the fact. A lot of that had to do with the fact that WGN played Cubs games right after school, so run right in the door, turn them on. But I'm sitting there, and Grandpa points out to me. He says, "You know who that is?" No. Well, he plays baseball. His name's Lou Brock. He plays baseball for the Cardinals.
He used to hang out in Harrisburg all the time.
Well,
I don't know how often he hung out, but I know that he had some kind of personal connection to the area.
I remember reading that Lou Brock always loved Bonanza.
Is that what it
Really?
was?
Really? Well, that might have
that's in
been
his.
it.
That's in his biography.
That might have been it. Well, I know Grandpa talked me into going over and saying hi. Long story short, you talk about such a nice guy. He took the time to set his fork down, talk with a young baseball fan, took the time for Grandpa to run out to the glove box of the car and grab the old 110 camera. You remember the old 110s?
Sure.
And snapped a picture of me standing next to Lou Brock.
And you have one.
I have a picture of me and Lou
That's-
Brock at Bonanza standing next to a plate of steak and a bowl of salad.
I believe that was the name of his autobiography, From Base Burglar to Bonanza, if I'm not mistaken.
Really? I'll have to check that out.
Yeah. Well, that's an interesting story, and I would cherish that photo.
I do. It's always been one of my favorites.
And
Well,
then
you-
we have a little housekeeping here to take
Oh,
care of.
go ahead.
If we're done with Blue Brock.
Yeah, we are. I've got
Okay.
other things, but go ahead.
Okay. Centralia
Yes.
apparently is in Clinton, Marion, Jefferson, and Washington counties.
Vindication for
The Bobcat.
the Bobcat,
Yeah.
who said it was in various counties.
Centralia just can't make up its mind. So, there you go.
Isn't that interesting? Grayville's in 2 counties, right?
Right.
But I didn't realize that Centralia was in essentially 4
4.
counties.
I didn't
Yeah.
realize that either.
I got a recommendation over the weekend to watch the Amazon Prime series Bosch.
Oh, excellent series.
You like it?
Excellent series.
I've watched 2 episodes. It hasn't yet dragged me ashore. It hasn't
It's gonna
hooked me
take
yet.
it's gonna take you about the first half of the first season to really pull you into the storyline and the characters. But once you get invested in it, you're gonna sit and watch more episodes in a row than you realize.
Well, here's what's going to happen. You see, I'm the
He premieres the
yeah,
episodes.
I'm the canary in the cave.
Gotcha.
And if I don't die from asphyxiation and come back out, then I say to Carol, this is one I can recommend. This is a Mike 4-star. So anyway.
See, I got into it by accident. I was a Sons of Anarchy fan. And the main character, Bosch, played in season 4 a member of the IRA.
Okay.
And seeing that he was in it, naturally I was intrigued. Well, let's see how well he plays in this one, because he was excellent in Sons of Anarchy. Bosch, excellent show. I highly recommend you stick with it.
Okay. And one other thing. Where are you on Braunschweiger? I guess
Love it.
You're pro
He's a
Braunschweiger.
fan.
I actually ate some last night before going to bed, to be honest with you. Yes, I did, from DeWitt's Meat Market.
I caught that whiff off of you this morning. I
That's
had no
what that
idea
is.
that
Yep.
was Braunschweiger.
That is Braunschweiger.
Have we established that you are?
I have tried Braunschweiger before.
But you're not a fan.
But not a fan, no.
Huh.
I don't go out of my way for Braunschweiger.
Really?
No.
Oh, well.
Well, you're not con.
I break for
Braunschweiger.
Braunschweiger. I need that bumper sticker. That's all I'm going to say.
Huh?
A little
All right.
mustard on a cracker, man, you got a great snack.
All right, we're ready.
This time for sure.
All right.
Bucket of bunk,
Bunk, bunk, bunk.
Turner never gets a word.
Not today. Not today. Not today.
Right.
Bucket of bunk, bunk. Reed makes sure he never could.
That's not fair. He's got a microphone too.
Bucket of bunk,
All right, Buddy Holly would be 84 today, as you mentioned earlier today, Tom. He died in 1959 at the age of 22. In 1955, he opened for Elvis Presley. He decided to pursue a career in music and opened for Presley 3 times that year.
Wow.
We got a call?
Just hang on.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
His band's style drifted from country and western into entirely rock and roll. In October that year, he opened for Bill Haley and the Comets. And he was spotted by Nashville scout Eddie Candrall, who helped him get a contract with Decca Records. He went into a session, and this guy, Eddie, was really looking for a country sound. He had been the main force behind Patsy Cline, and Holly didn't like it. Didn't like it at all, so he found another guy, another producer, a guy by the name of Norman Petty in Clovis, New Mexico, and he recorded the demo for That'll Be the Day, among other songs. Petty became the band's manager, went on to demo that to Brunswick Records. They put it out as the Crickets, not Buddy Holly and the Crickets, but just the Crickets. And that became the name of the band, obviously. September of 57, the band toured That'll Be the Day, and it went to number 1 in the United States. And he became a huge influence in rock and roll because it really set the standard for what would be in a rock and roll band. 2 guitars, a bass, and drums.
Right.
Holly was the first one to do that. And he really had an influence on Elvis Presley, on Bob Dylan, the Beatles.
The Beatles.
A lot of people think
In fact, Paul McCartney owns his catalog.
Yes,
Owns
yes,
the
you're
Buddy
right. You're right.
Holly catalog.
The Rolling Stones, Eric Clapton, the Hollies. You know, the Hollies named themselves in honor of Buddy Holly. I don't know if you knew that.
Did
Yes.
not know that.
Anyway, he was one of the first people to be put into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Waylon Jennings, remember the famous story, voluntarily gave up his seat to J.P. Richardson, which of course was the Big Bopper, who had influenza and complained that the tour bus was too drafty. And the pilot took off in inclement weather, and even though he was not certified to fly instruments only, only about 5 miles out from the airport, the plane went down. Holly, Richie Valens, the Big Bopper, and the pilot all killed instantly. Of course, that's always been known as
The day the music died.
it died in Mason City, Iowa. Chrissy Hine is 69 today. Founding member of the a guitarist and a lead vocalist of the Pretenders. I love the Pretenders. Great music.
So what you're saying is you would walk 5,000 miles to listen to the Pretenders.
I would. Well, probably maybe 500 feet.
He's back on the chain gang.
Yeah.
He formed the she was a part of forming the Pretenders back in 1978. Also released a number of songs with other musicians, including Frank Sinatra. I didn't realize that.
Wow.
And she's also in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame with the Pretenders. Married twice, 2 kids. She follows Vaishnavism, a brand of Hinduism. Each year she goes to India to further her studies.
Okay.
Not terribly well known here in Wayne County. Corbin Burnson is 66 today,
Great actor.
known for his roles as divorce attorney Arnold Becker in
LA
L.A.
Law.
Law. Yeah, and that was a great show.
Yeah.
It lasted for quite a while.
I prefer him as Roger Dorn.
Roger Dorn in the films Major League and Major League 2.
Mm-hmm.
He also played Dr. Alan Finestone in The Dentist. Also as a retired police detective, Henry Spencer in the USA Network comedy drama Psych.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's been around.
Yeah, he was great in that.
Psych was a good show.
I love Psych.
That was a great show.
His early days, he was on General Hospital
Oh.
Really?
in the soap opera. Married to British actress Amanda Pays since 1988. They have 4 sons, and he was previously married. In 2008, Bernstein and his family appeared on the ABC show Celebrity Family Feud, defeating Margaret Chu's family before losing to the crew from American Chopper. He was one of the largest, get a load of this. He owns one of the largest snow globe collections in the world.
Huh?
Really?
Yes. Corbin Burnson.
There's a record for that?
Right?
9,000 globes.
Wow.
And my wife thinks there's something wrong with me collecting radios.
Yeah.
You'd have to have a little bit of storage room to put 9,000
snow
globes. He and his wife moved to the Hudson Valley in upstate New York in 2019, where they now focus on film and television projects that they can shoot locally. September 7th, 1813, the nickname Uncle Sam was used for the first time in reference to this country.
Yes. Iconic imagery.
1966, the final episode of the original Dick Van Dyke Show.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let me just run through this. There was Maury Amsterdam.
Right.
There was Rose Marie.
Mm-hmm. Played Sally Rogers.
And Mary Tyler
Mary
Moore.
Tyler Moore.
And Dick Van Dyke. And Richie, and I forget his name. I forget his name.
Yeah.
So that was 1966. 1971, the final.
Carl Reiner.
Oh, yeah, Carl Reiner was in there.
Yep.
And Richard Mel Cooley. I forget what.
Yeah.
Richard Deacon.
Richard
Deacon
Deacon
was in that
yeah.
as well. 1971, on this date, the Beverly Hillbillies seen for the final time on CBS.
Wow.
What a great sitcom. The Double Knot Spy series was the best in that.
Knot goes into not times. One goes into not one time.
I love the hat.
Yes.
Yeah, the steel
Yeah,
hat.
those hats.
You kept
Yes.
knocking him out when he'd put it on. Oh, my. 1979, ESPN, the Entertainment and Sports Programming Network, made its debut. Have we gotten to ESPN 8, the Ocho, yet?
I don't believe so.
I don't think so.
I don't believe so, but I'm sure it's coming.
It's in the planning.
Yes.
In 86, Dan Marino of the Miami Dolphins threw his 100th career touchdown pass in only his 44th NFL game.
Wow.
Pretty
Wow.
impressive, huh?
Well, you talk about a great quarterback that never
Never won.
won the big show right there. That's one of the greats.
He was in the Super Bowl more than once, I believe.
As a matter of fact, the last time that they went to the Super Bowl, that I watched it at least, was when Stojanovic kicked wide into the right.
That was the whole idea of the...
Ace Ventura.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's a great
Yes.
one.
Great movies.
1998, Mark McGwire set a new Major League Baseball record for most home runs in a single season. This is when he hit his 61st.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, Bonds came in. 61... this was when he hit his 62nd.
62nd.
61 was the standard
Right.
set by Roger Maris.
Right.
Yes. Yes. I was actually at the game where he hit 57, 58, and 59 against the Braves.
He had 3 in one game. I forgot
3 in
that.
one game. I said
Oh, they
just
were
to the.
hitting them out of the
I
park.
said just left to Big Mac
Hitting.
land, and every home run was either a row or two above me, or a foot or two to the left of me, a foot or two to the right of me. But yeah, he hit 3 home runs that game against the Braves. Matter of fact, Chipper Jones, I believe, homered twice in that game.
I've got 2
It's
other...
him and Sammy Sosa.
That was a great summer.
Yes,
That was great.
Yes,
2 other significant things. And on this date in 1975, Steve Anderson set a record for picking a guitar. At age 22, he picked for 104 14 hours, 7 minutes.
Okay.
Broke the old record by more than 4 hours. Now, I don't know if he actually picked a tune. And in 1986, Michael Nesmith joined the other original Monkees
Yep.
on stage for the first time since the band disbanded. That appearance was at the Greek Theater in L.A., and that is history. Our question of the day, the Carnaby Square question of the day, I don't know if I've mentioned it to you, Jeremy, but Carnaby Square is the fashion leader in downtown Fairfield.
You don't say.
Yes. The question, what's the worst job you've ever had? Oh, I've got some entries. We'll be back with more on Morning Coffee. Back after this.
Jerome here from Main Street Shop Fairfield. You know, we've been selling Skag mowers for 20-some odd years now, and the most common feedback I get from our customers is they just don't dread mowing anymore. Some even say they now look forward to mowing, the poor souls. But for the rest of us, we say mowing doesn't suck anymore. We even get a feeling of great power as we plow through our yards. And a great-looking lawn, well, that doesn't suck either. Actually, all of us are really glad we got our Skag lawn mowers. Really glad. We are Main Street Shop Fairfield, and we sell those happy Skags. Wow! Zoom!
As a financial advisor, I'm well versed in the best practices of financial planning, but as a local, I'm familiar with the same unique challenges you face every day. I know the importance of not only understanding your goals, but also you, as an individual, as a business owner, and as a family. Hi, I'm Luke Carl with F&B Asset Management, and I'm proud to be working in my hometown, investing back into the community that contributed to my success, and I'm committed to helping you with yours. Call us at 842-2109 today. F&B Asset Management, helping you realize your financial goals.
Graber Post Buildings, trusted throughout the heartland of America, provides the highest quality built post and stud frame structures in the country. Visit with one of our dedicated building department members today and let them show you how affordable a Graber Post building can be. Our quality crews can have your building constructed in no time for years of durability and beauty. Our professional sales staff is on hand to take care of any contractors or do-it-yourselfers. Call the trusted tradition, Graber Post Buildings at 800-264-5013 or visit us online at graberpost.com.
Hi, this is Bill Stevens with another time capsule quiz. Which month and year was it when President Ford's limo was hit by another car? He was okay. Boston and Cincinnati hooked up in one of the greatest World Series games ever.
Game tied, 6-6. The 1-0 delivery to Fisk. He swings, long drive, left field. If it stays fair, it's gone. Home run! The Red Sox win! And the series is tied 3 games apiece.
The following night, the Reds won the 7th game. Muhammad Ali beat Joe Frazier in their Thriller in Manila. And any radio station worth listening to was playing hits like these.
Something bad.
Think you got it? Well, hold on. The answer and just a touch of the top song from the month and year are coming up.
You know what sounds fun? Holiday World sounds fun. We're talking the kind of fun that takes 128 acres to contain it. The kind of fun that leads to the sounds of silence on the car ride home. Because the kids will be sleeping. The kind of fun you need to start having today. But you can only get tickets online and only at holidayworld.com.
Free talking! Free parking! Free sunscreen!
That was fun.
October 1975.
Neil Sedaka and Bad Blood, the top song of October 1975. This is Bill Stevens for tcapsule.com. Back soon with another time capsule.
Life is all about changes. Changing of the seasons is what keeps Carnaby's fashion door evolving. Exciting styles and colors from the brands you love to wear. Set a reminder for Carnaby's Facebook Live, trending Thursdays at 7 p.m. See all of the new deliveries of the week. The Carnaby girls invite you to fall forward with Carnaby Square. Carnaby Square has convenient shopping hours, Monday through Saturday, 9 to 5, and open late on Thursdays till 7.
We're back on Morning Coffee, having lots of fun on a Labor Day. Carnaby Square question of the day: what's the worst job you've ever had? You're on, Tom. And no reference to this place, okay? Absolutely no reference to this place.
Well, see, I think about that. Most of the time I'm having a pretty good time because I'm generally doing things to entertain myself all day.
Yes.
The worst part, I have this little side business, okay?
Okay.
Where when the vet goes out of town, Tony Bohr, I take care of the animals for him, okay? That he's got, okay? So I go into the vet clinic one weekend, and there's a dog who is clearly no longer with us in the middle of the pen.
Oh.
And I'm just like,
can't take care of that dog.
And so I called Tony and I said, I've got a problem.
Yeah. He's sleeping.
He's on vacation.
He's soundly asleep. Yes.
Yeah. So he's like, okay, well, if you're sure it's dead, just put it in a plastic bag, put it in a freezer. And I was just like, huh?
Sounds like Dwight Schrute.
There's also a test I had to do to make sure it was no longer with us. So.
All right. Well,
like poking it with a stick, nudging it with your foot.
You don't know how
Here, boy.
you are.
Here, boy.
Right.
Come here. Play deads. Play
Good
dead
boy.
there, Rover. So what did?
I've had a good string of luck. I've had a lot of jobs. There's no doubt about that. We've talked about that. But as far as the worst job I ever had, it's definitely got to be the industrial hog farm that I worked at. That was just some nasty, stinky, and anybody out there that's worked around hogs knows exactly what I'm talking about. I actually worked at a slaughterhouse.
Oh.
I worked at the El Dorado locker, and both of those jobs rank higher than industrial hog farming.
Oh man.
Yes.
Well, I tell you what, my worst one my job was with a sledgehammer, straight midnights, and out in the elements during winter, on the St. Louis riverfront. My job was to beat on the side of a railroad car with a sledgehammer so that feed, corn and other product would fall out of the onto a conveyor belt and then be put on a barge.
Oh.
Okay.
You get out there at about 3 in the morning and it's 2 degrees. You start thinking, this higher education might not be a bad idea.
I spent a few years on the river, and I got to tell you, the people that work those docks and those loadouts, they work harder than those of us that work on the deck of the longboats.
It was a tough job.
They really did. I thought you were going to say you were beating on the cart, hollering, "Bring out your dead."
No.
Bring out your dead.
No. All right, well, the Carnaby Square question. We had 3,800 people see this. Amanda says, I don't think I've ever had a job I didn't like. Isn't that interesting?
Lucky Amanda.
I'll say. Shirley says, an office job 4 years ago, no need to mention the name, ready to quit the second day. They kept me 6 weeks, awful atmosphere there. It wasn't the actual work. Gordy says, cleaning out Grandpa's outhouse.
Now that's a stinky situation right there.
That'd do it. Chastity said, laundry department at the hospital. It was when they had the big machines and you had to pull the laundry through. It was just awful. Jeff says, and here you go, Jeremy. Jeff says, scraping manure and other things after the sows delivered out from under the farrowing crates and pressure washing the floor.
I can still smell and taste the air as you're saying that.
Yeah, taste the air is the thing that you do.
Yes.
David says, a substitute teacher in pre-K, not all the kids were potty trained. He had the same experience that you did, Jeremy.
Yeah.
Nathan says, 3 a.m. truck loading shift at UPS Earth City, Missouri, largest UPS facility there is. Went there after working all night as a bartender at the landing in St. Louis. Sounds to me like that was a long night.
Yeah.
Diana says, drills at Airtex. Loved Airtex, hated drills. There are other people here that say more disparaging things about their jobs at Airtex. Let's see here. Mark says, picking up hay
to save money to buy a new car. I bucked bales one summer, and that was, I think it was like a nickel a bale.
Only one summer?
Yes, only one summer. I was lucky.
You
That was it.
were raised spoiled, weren't you?
Yes,
you
I
one of them
was.
City kids.
I was one of those city kids, and I was
concrete and steel, buddy.
Here you go. Rob says cleaning the grain elevator pit. Now here's the key: sour corn and beans standing in water all year.
Yes.
There's the smell of funk. That's what we called it. Grain funk is what we call
Wet,
it.
nasty Milo has. It has an undescribable odor. Yeah.
All its own.
Brian said he worked at Airtex. Glad that place is gone. There's a lot of people that probably aren't sharing your views on that. Rick says detasseling corn was a difficult job, a very difficult job. Donna says punch press at Airtex. Richie says Rex filters in Fairfield was a tough job. Here's one. Douglas says, ventriloquist could never get the darn thing to talk.
It's your time to shine.
Let's see here. Well, okay, let's see here. A couple more. Just a couple more. Then you got to call me off, Tom, one time. Michael says, I once had to unload a full-size semi-trailer full of rotten cheese they used for catfish bait in the middle of the day in July. I had a little help, but it took us several hours, and I got paid $5.
Woo.
Wow.
That's an ugly job.
$5 whole dollars. $5 whole dollars. Don't
Sandra
spend it all
says-
in one place.
Sandra says, cleaning bathrooms at the fair. There's another one.
Yeah.
I've
They
seen
have
some
nasty bathrooms at the fair.
Well, have you
Now they
really
new ones.
paid attention to the people that go to the fair? I mean,
well,
You
wow.
don't
Then
ever
you
see 'em
compound
anyplace
that.
else.
Then you compound that with Walmart, but then you compound that with fair food. Yeah, I can imagine that's got to be horrible.
Roger, I've never done this, but if you've been on the farm, I understand this is a very difficult job, cutting weeds out of the bean fields. I mean, I guess you're walking around with some sort of sickle or something and taking them out.
I don't know nothing about that. We got lucky. We had mechanized farming in our area, so.
Stacking mods in California is what Rhonda says. And Tommy casts a big shadow on Airtex as well.
Okay.
So there you go.
All right.
Got
all
questions
right.
for
I
us?
got questions for you today.
Good deal.
Well,
This is, again, movies,
I've got answers for you.
movie questions you should have answers for.
You want answers? You can't handle answers.
That's right.
God, that's actually not one of the questions.
Okay.
But question number one. In Risky Business, what song did Tom Cruise famously lip sync to in his underwear? It's on the tip of his dong.
No, I know the artist.
Number two.
Oh, I know it now.
For which 1964 musical blockbuster did Julie Andrews win the Academy Award for Best Actress?
Okay.
What 1994 crime film revitalized John Travolta's career? That's
The
question three.
crime film. Okay, I know.
Okay. Yeah, see, these are easy. I mean, I stumped you with the Star Wars trivia.
Yes, you did.
Number four, who voiced the sultry Jessica Rabbit in Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Oh, it's got to be a sexy voice of some kind. I'm not sure.
It's actually wrong on the question sheet. The stage play Everybody Comes to Rick's was adapted for the screen to become what 1942 Best Picture winner? It's a classic.
1942. And the name of it?
Everybody Comes to Rick's was the stage play.
Everyone Comes to Rick's.
It's a classic.
Okay, well, I understand that. but
In
I'm-
what 1979 James Bond movie does the famous spy go to outer space? This is
I know
easily the worst Bond movie ever.
How can you say that?
The
Easily.
worst. Easily.
I find it fascinating. And I love the name of the lead female in that one. Well, we won't go there. We won't go there.
Number 7, in Apocalypse Now, Robert Duvall says, I love the smell of what in the morning?
I know that, too.
Question number 8. We've got a call here. Hi, you're on the morning coffee.
Yes, this is Melody Burkett. Can we announce that we're having a yard sale at 700 West Center in Fairfield this morning?
You just did.
Okay.
You just did.
Got it.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Uh-huh.
All right, number 8. What is the name of Charlie Chaplin's most famous recurring character?
Charlie? Okay.
Charlie Chaplin. Yes, you know that one. Number 9. Aaron Sorkin won an Oscar for writing what 2010 drama about the creation of Facebook?
Okay.
And number 10. What is the model of a revolver made famous by Clint Eastwood's Dirty Harry Callahan?
What was the name of the revolver, or what
What's
caliber?
What is the model number?
Model number.
Revolver.
All right.
You went kind of obscure on that one.
All right. Well,
those are the questions. Get to the answers in just a moment.
Stay tuned.
At Jackie's Hidden Treasures, you never know what you'll find. Pick up a certificate at the Big Deal Store for incredible savings. There's always something new at Jackie's Hidden Treasures on the square in Sisney.
Now is your chance to join the team at North American Lighting. NAL's Flora plant will host open interviews Saturday, September 12th from 8 a.m. until noon for second and third shift operator positions. Applicants should bring a valid ID and fill out the online application at NAL.com. Applicants should first report to the southeast corner of the south parking lot for a brief health screening before their interview. Face masks are required and will be provided before entering the facility.
Here's what's going on, brought to you by Jagger's Doggy Daycare in Mount Vernon, your one-stop shop for dogs. They are now reopened and ready to provide you with dog boarding, dog grooming, dog training, and doggy daycare. Learn more by visiting their website at jaggersdoggydaycare.com.
Here's what's going on Saturday, September the 12th. The Jeff Ruritan Club will be hosting their monthly breakfast from 7 to 9 a.m. The menu will be all you can eat, sausage, biscuits and gravy, hash browns, scrambled eggs, and pancakes, and the cost is by donation. A farmers market will be held every Saturday, weather permitting, at the Wayne County Courthouse. Vendors are welcome. For more information, contact Dana Wilson at 599-0173. And on Sunday, September 13th, the Fairfield Coin Club will be having their coin show and auction at Frontier Community College. Doors will open at 9 a.m. Meeting and auction will start at 1:30. In accordance with the CDC and contract with the college, the club is asking that everyone please wear a mask and that you observe social distancing guidelines.
Watermelon.
Healthy.
Cool.
And tasty.
They're grown here and are at the peak of freshness right now.
The Ileana Watermelon Association reminds you that every summer day is better with watermelon.
Bring one home today.
Watermelon.
Radar Weather is sponsored by Conard Financial Group at 510 West Delaware in Fairfield, with securities offered through Raymond James. Conard Financial Group, investing in the community since 2003.
Does your financial future depend on the performance of a single investment? In any type of market, allocating your investments among a variety of assets may help minimize risk. I understand the importance of asset allocation and can design a diversified portfolio based on your risk profile to help you attain your goals. For details, call me, Chris Conard, at 842-7855. That's 842-7855. Raymond James Financial Services, Inc., member FINRA, SIPC. Life well planned.
Taking a look at the radar weather right now, not a whole lot going on the southeastern Illinois scan of the radar. It is 76 here in Fairfield. It's 75 in Olney, 75 in Flora, 75 in Salem, 76 in Mount Vernon. We've got 77 in McLeansboro, 76 in Carmi, 76 in Grayville. No rain appearing in Illinois today. We got some rain in northern Indiana and in northern Ohio, stretching up to northwestern New York. That is a look at the radar weather for today here on WFIW.
Radar Weather has been sponsored by Conard Financial Group at 510 West Delaware in Fairfield, with securities offered through Raymond James. Conard Financial Group, investing in the community since 2003.
That's one guy I'd go see, Rod Stewart. You
No.
wouldn't go see Rod Stewart?
No.
Oh, I think I
Really?
would.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm not a big Rod Stewart fan. I liked one song.
And that was?
People Get Ready.
If you go
With
through
Jeff Beck.
his catalog, there's some good stuff. I'm just telling you. All
So
right.
he did a good song with Bryan Adams back in the 90s on the Three Musketeers soundtrack that wasn't bad, too.
Okay.
All right, so we got questions. We got hopefully we got answers.
All right. Question number one, this movie trivia. In Risky Business, what song did Tom Cruise famously lip sync to in his underwear? He says he knows it.
I think I remember it, but I'm not sure. I'm going to take a step out on the limb and say, wasn't it Old Time Rock and Roll?
Yes.
Old Time Rock and Roll
Bob
by
Seger.
Bob Seger. Question number two. For which 1964 musical blockbuster did Julie Andrews win the Academy Award for Best Actress?
Sound of Music.
Exactly.
Exactly wrong.
No!
Mary
Poppins.
Poppins.
Oh, you tricked us.
Chimney Chiroo.
You tricked us. Okay.
What 1994 crime film revitalized John Travolta's career?
Pulp Fiction.
Absolutely.
You know what they call
He's
a
a bad
quarter
choose.
pounder with cheese in France?
Oh, there's some great lines in there, none of which I can repeat.
Exactly.
Who voiced the sultry Jessica Rabbit in Who Framed Roger Rabbit?
Boy, I don't know.
Was it Michelle Pfeiffer?
No, it was not Michelle
Okay.
Pfeiffer.
Who was
It's
it?
Kathleen Turner.
Kathleen Turner. Oh, okay. Okay.
Later played Chandler Bing's dad
Yes.
on Friends.
and such a great role. Such a great role.
You know, if you would say, who's going to play Chandler Bing's dad? Kathleen Turner would not be the person.
No, I would not have immediately thought V.I. Warshawski. We got to get her.
It's interesting how she evolved from a symbol
Yeah.
to someone
From
who's
Body Heat, too.
to what she to that role.
Yeah.
Quite
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah.
Okay. Number 5, the stage play Everybody Comes to Rick's was adapted for the screen to become what 1942 Best Picture winner?
I have no clue.
You're gonna
42.
kill yourself.
How about From Here to Eternity?
No.
No.
No. Everybody Comes to Rick's. Rick's is a prominent place in the movie. They
Casablanca.
Actually, it's Casablanca. Yes.
Okay, all right,
You got it.
Oh.
All right.
I was going to give you a hint. Ronald Reagan was supposed to star in this one, Casablanca.
Yep.
They actually did not finish writing the film until, no one knew how it was going to come out until the last
They were
day.
going to do Reagan, but he wanted to bring along Bonzo.
Yeah.
So no.
No monkeys. Number 6, in what 1979 James Bond movie does the famous spy go to outer space? Easily the worst.
It's the great. It's one of the great. Roger Moore was one of the great.
Point of order. There was only one true Bond, and that's Connery. Sean Connery.
I liked Roger Moore, and it was Moonraker.
Moonraker was the.
Now, was that the film where he also popped a wheelie in a semi-tractor, or was that in a different one of the? Because there were a lot of horrible Bond movies,
Oh, yeah.
let's face it.
Yeah.
All right.
I loved everyone.
Grace Slick in Moonraker. Is that?
I'm
Anyhow.
not sure.
Number 7, in Apocalypse Now, Robert Duvall says, "I love the smell of blank in the morning."
I love the smell of napalm in the morning. It
Yes.
smells like victory.
Yes.
Smells like victory.
Yes.
Okay. Number 8, what's the name of Charlie Chaplin's most famous reoccurring character?
Isn't he the vagabond? The lovable vagabond?
Close. The Tramp.
The Tramp.
Number 9, Aaron Sorkin won an Oscar for writing what 2010 drama about the creation of Facebook? Actually, a great film.
I saw the film. I'm drawing a blank on the name though. The Network.
Wasn't it Social Media?
The Social Network. If you
The Social
combine
Network.
both
Put them
of your
together.
answers, you get the right
There
answer.
you go.
The Social Network.
The Social Network.
Yeah. And question number 10. What is the model of revolver made famous by Clint Eastwood's Dirty Harry Callahan? Best Dirty Harry
Wasn't
Callahan
it a
right
44 caliber Magnum?
now. This is a...
I'm drawing a blank. I can see him pulling it. I can hear the line, but I'm drawing a blank.
44, 45 caliber.
It's a Smith & Wesson.
Smith & Wesson.
Model 29, 44 caliber.
Yes.
44 caliber.
Yes.
I got that much right.
Do you
44
feel
Magnum,
lucky,
excuse me.
punk?
Yeah.
You got to ask yourself.
Do you?
Do you feel lucky, punk?
Now I could have fired 6 or 5 bullets. You feeling lucky?
To tell you the truth, I'm not really quite sure.
Not quite sure. It's a great,
Yes.
it's a great
Yes,
role.
great
no doubt
role.
about it.
Between that role and his role in Gran Torino, I love both of those roles.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so here's the deal. It's Labor Day.
Yes.
And you're not here tomorrow, Jeremy. You've done a wonderful stint of several days to help us out here.
Back a week from
Vacations.
Friday.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Tom, you go back over to, and now you're going to go over to the AM and say this is 104.9. You'll have to get back into that whole thing again.
104.9 forecast.
Yep. Yep.
So there you go. And I'll be back here, and you'll be back here tomorrow.
I'll be over there
You'll
tomorrow.
be in another chair, and Mark will be here, and he'll say, we've got a bull order.
We've got a bowl order.
Bull order.
Did you get a bowl at the bowl? How many bowls of bowl did you get?
Well, anyway, I want you to have a good rest of the day. It's Labor Day, and we need to recognize organized labor and its significance in our American labor movement.
Oh,
And
for
I
sure.
do, and I salute it, and I'm grateful for it. Quite honestly.
If you work for a decent wage, thank a labor union member today.
Absolutely.
There we go.
All right. Thanks, guys. Take care.
God bless.
News, talk, sports, and classic rock. This is the station listened to, not just heard. 104.9 WFIW Fairfield, Illinois.
Time now for the news, brought to you by Boyd Furniture and Mattress Center in downtown Wayne City, where there's everyday low prices on Serta, Ashley, Catnapper, and Benchcraft mattresses.
Fox News, I'm Lillian Wu. Crucial swing states in the spotlight.